Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with Great Expectations, episode 1. So you may be seeing this and thinking like, the fuck? Are you adding a new series slot? And the answer simply is no. See, this is a mini-series, and I mean mini-series as in it's only 3 episodes long. They are an hour each, but because it is so short, I figured, why would I bother putting this into an actual series slot? So instead, I'm just going to do it sort of like I do a YouTube series. I'm just going to get to episodes as I get to them, whenever I feel like I can, yada yada. This is a donation reward for Sweet Venom, though. So thank you, as always, Venom, for your donation. I don't know what to expect going into this. I don't know what this is going to be like at all. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what it's about. All I know is that it's from 2011. And that's literally it. So this is as blind as I can be. But yeah. Funny enough, the site I got this on has 6 episodes listed, but I looked at the comments of the video player, and someone is saying the last 3 episodes of this, episodes 4 through 6, are from a different adaptation. So I'm glad someone put that in there. Only the first 3 episodes are for this adaptation. The 2011 adaptation, because I was told there was only 3 episodes when this was donated for, so I was a little confused at first, but it was cleared up. Either way, like I said, I don't know what to expect with Great Expectations, but maybe I have some great expectations. No, I don't. It's kind of impossible to when you don't know literally anything about this. But that's going to make this interesting. It's going to make it interesting, going to make it possibly entertaining. We will see. Let's get this going, though, and find out. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. There is a big audience for period piece dramas. It's actually a really big genre of television and movies. I know a lot of people who are really into them. My grandmother is one of them. She really likes stuff like Downton Abbey and whatnot. I could never get into them. Not because of the time period and stuff. I've seen movies and whatnot from older time periods and everything, and they're fine. It's more along the lines of a lot of these period pieces are honestly, admittedly, kind of boring to me. A lot of them tend to be very hoity-toity and fanciful and whatnot, focusing on like royalty or what and things like that. And there's a little bit of focus in this on, you know, the idea of being proper and being of status and wealth and all. But it's done in such a different way that it's not holding me back from this as much as I would have expected. The fact that Miss Habersham is so eccentric but also extremely tragic and well, crazy in a very tragic way is endlessly endearing to me. I can't explain fully why, but maybe it kind of goes into the same kind of line as why I connect so much to trauma baby characters, which if you've seen my reactions to things like Symphogear and whatnot, you know that uh, trauma babies as a like a trope and whatnot are some of my favorite characters and ones that I really connect to and care about and whatnot. I don't know if it's the same kind of situation because clearly she's gone under some heavy trauma. Her husband's death, even though she's trying to like excuse it by the fact that he, collected pinned butterflies and all. Um, it clearly affected her to a degree where it drove her insane. Not to a degree where she can't care for herself, but to a degree where she's very visibly not okay. The way she fiddles and scratches at her hands, the way she like went into a full blown basically panic attack when her family had come calling on her and everything. And like she was not just scared, she was utterly terrified. She was extremely distraught to the point where like she could barely function. But you see an almost creepy dark side to her as well, with the way like she was feeling very controlling over her adopted daughter. She's a very fascinating character that on one hand you feel extremely bad for, like you saw in the reaction. It made me cry. Her breakdown legitimately made me cry, which is something I would have never expected. And with that, it kind of the episode won me over at that point. Like there were parts before that I was already invested in, like the entire thing at the beginning with the prisoner and all, and especially when he took the blame for Pip and everything, which was very nice and just kind of showed off a good way to show off Pip's kindness and the effect he has on others, which I think is going to be important continuing on in the next two episodes. Especially with him going to London and, trying to be a proper gentleman. Something that he's very new to. Growing up in relative poverty, being the apprentice of a blacksmith. Pip is a super likable character. He's got these big dreams for himself, especially after getting a taste for the high lifestyle. And it was very obvious that he no longer wanted to be a blacksmith's apprentice, that he no longer wanted to be a blacksmith when he grew up, which is why he was so quick to accept this offer. And I don't necessarily blame him. Like, again, growing up in relative poverty, it's like, of course you're going to want better for yourself. The ones I do blame are the missus, who is now in a vegetative state, which I do feel bad for her for. It's like, as terrible as she was, no one deserves that. Unless you're like a rapist or something, you don't deserve to be in a vegetative state. That's gotta be horrible. And the other really terrible characters being Mark Addy's character, the uncle, as well as Ulrich. And I'm kind of unsure right now if it was Ulrich or Mark Addy's character, or the uncle, who put her in that vegetative state. Because my first thought was obviously Ulrich, because of, the conversation she had with him and everything. It kind of set up the idea. But then at the end there, you're seeing the uncle, like, kind of taunting her. Like saying, oh, well, it's too late for you, my dear, but, not for me. I can still get that wealth and get that status. It kind of reads to me as if he did something. It kind of reads to me like this was his plan all along. Like she was getting in the way and he didn't want to share that wealth and status with her. I think that would be an interesting twist to reveal that it was actually him who put her in that state rather than Ulrich. That wouldn't stop Ulrich from being a terrible person, but yeah. Um, Joe is a really great guy. He was super caring for Pip. He was kind to him, took care of the boy, treated him like his own son. And you could tell Pip clearly cared about him as well. He looked up to him and only became a little distant later on because of, his desires changing. Which, again, it's not a bad thing. We also have Miss Habersham's daughter, whose name I cannot remember right now. She, I feel we haven't seen enough of her yet to really judge her. And I feel like the point in that is that she's going to get a lot more screen time in the second and third episode and probably become more of a character. But we did see that she very much valued Pip's attitude and stuff, the fact that he wasn't super proper. And I'm thinking that if she and him do end up getting together, which is definitely hinted at, I think she's going to prefer him rather than being a perfect gentleman to be that little boy she saw punch the perfect gentleman kid. To be someone who forges his own identity. Kind of pun intended there. Forges his own identity. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I kind of made myself laugh at that one. But that definitely seems to entice her more. But it seems like Miss Habersham doesn't want that. She wants the best for her daughter, especially with the state she herself is in. So she seems to want her daughter to have the perfect gentleman. To have someone who's going to keep her safe, happy, protected, well off, and everything. Give her the life that she doesn't have anymore because of what happened. And I actually want to see if I can look up the actor who played the one dude, because I want to know who Butter Voice is. And yes, I'm going to keep calling him that. Mr. Jaggers, David Suchet, or Suchet? I don't know how it's pronounced. Yeah, who are you? Because his voice was butter. It was so fucking smooth. It was, like, good, really good. Oh, he was apparently in a 1980 television serial of Oppenheimer. That's interesting. He portrayed Hercule Poirot in a series based on the Agatha Christie detective. That's fun. Okay. I just want to see if I know him for anything. Like if I've seen him or even just heard his voice in something. Because I just want to know if I've heard his voice before. He's got such a, like, amazing voice. And I want to know if I've heard it before and just don't realize. Oh, apparently he's in Flushed Away. Haven't seen that yet, but even though it came out in 2006. I'm not seeing anything else so far, though. Let's see here. Yeah, there's Agatha Christie's Poirot, which apparently lasted from 89 to 2013. That's a long run. 13 seasons, or series, as they often describe it in the UK and whatnot. 70 episodes. Only 70 episodes over that long of a time period? That's over 20 years. Anyway, anything else? Dracula. A 2006 TV movie? Apparently he played Abraham Van Helsing. That's interesting. I don't know if I saw that one. There's Great Expectations. He was in Doctor Who? Who are you in Doctor Who? The landlord? Knock knock. What episode is that? That says 2017. That's Peter Capaldi and Bill. Um, is this the episode Bill first appears in? This might be Bill's first episode. Maybe not. Hmm. I'm not sure. If it's Peter Capaldi, I should have seen it though. That was the late into Peter Capaldi's run though. If Bill was in there, I'm not seeing anything else here though that I recognize. At least there's other stuff for sure, but there's a lot. But I'm not seeing anything else that I actively like recognize or know. Which is kind of disappointing. Well, except for Flushed Away, but again, I haven't actually seen that. There's apparently a 2002 Pinocchio movie, an Italian fantasy version of Pinocchio, I guess. In that, he played Geppetto and the judge. Okay. Harry and the Hendersons. Oh yeah, I've heard of that movie. That's another one I've never seen. I just know of it. Yeah, but nothing else I know him for. Which is kind of disappointing a little bit. Um, you know who his voice kind of reminded me of? Let me see if I can find it here. By again, the actor was Sir David Suchet. Again, I assume it's pronounced Suchet. Um, what is that? Fireworks? Tony J. That's who I was thinking it was. Um, Tony J. Let me see if I can find him. Tony J is... Oh, he passed away in 2006. I didn't realize that. Tony J, if you didn't know, was the voice of Lick Boot in the Tom and Jerry movie, the old animated Tom and Jerry movie. His voice reminded me of Lick Boot from that. Also, he was Claude Frollo in Hunchback of Notre Dame. And Shere Khan in Jungle Book 2. Apparently he was in the Golden Girls. Oh, and he was apparently in that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Twins. That's another one I haven't seen. But yeah, I thought he sounded kind of like Tony J. But apparently it was not him. He was in Nausicaa? Oh shit! I've seen Nausicaa in the Disney dub too. He was the narrator in Austin Powers. That's amazing. Um, but yeah, I mean Tony J had an amazing voice too. He was a really good VA. Did a lot of video game roles too. It looks like. Um, but yeah, he apparently was 73 when he passed away. So yeah, he was out there. But David Suchet, great voice nonetheless. I definitely want to see more of him. I want to hear more of him. um, I'm very interested to see where this goes. This was a fascinating first episode and definitely caught my attention. So yeah, I mean, I was definitely gonna react to all 3 episodes anyways. It's like it's 3 episodes. I'll get through that. But now that I'm actually, interested in it, now that I actually enjoyed this, I'm definitely, I guess you could say, excited to get to more. Like I said in the pre-thoughts, though, this is going to be kind of like the same kind of schedule that I do with YouTube stuff. It's going to be whenever I can get to it. Especially since these are hour-long episodes. Whenever I'm able to get to these, I will. But I'm not going to make any, like, major promises or whatnot. on how quickly I'll be able to. But either way, that was interesting. It was a good time, and I definitely can't wait to see where this goes. For now, though, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this first episode of Great Expectations, specifically the 2011 version. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.